Yo, it's your boy Marita boy. I'm back up in this thing, man. Listen. Um, Today we got on the docket. We got man, it's old news, but it's new news. You know what I'm saying? We got 1090 Jake exposing Rick Ross for being a correction officer. And even though it's old news, for some reason it hit kind of different being coming from 1090 Jake. And um we're gonna get into it. It's kind of complex, you know what I'm saying? It's gonna be varying opinions on, you know, is it something, is it nothing? But I'm gonna show you it is something when you kind of break it down to the minutia of everything and what's really what really happened, what Rick Ross really did, and the effect of it. And now that it's years later and we can actually take it in as to what really happened with the CO situation. Um, is we gonna break it down. What's up, Kenny? What's up, Kenny? I'm gonna break it down. I'm gonna break it down. I hear you, bro. Say you don't respect it. Hit that like button on the way in. Also, man, we got NBA Youngboy went to jail, dog. He went to jail, like, bro. That shit crazy. They raided his house. We gonna read off his charges. We gonna give our opinions on what we think this means for Youngboy going forward. What we think the charges actually mean. I kind of, I kind of dibbed and dabbed in that kind of shit for a long time. So when I heard the charges, I pretty much already knew kind of what he had been accused of doing or whatever. But we're gonna break that down as well. Also, I had ran into a little Diddy news. I didn't put it in the title, but I ran into a little Diddy news. Let me tell you something. I ain't been really, I've been following the Diddy shit, but I ain't really been covering it like that because I covered it a little bit and I covered it before the shit hit the news, before they raided his mansions and all of that type of shit. But the reason why I ain't really cover it like that, because it's so much fake news about the Diddy shit, and that shit is so oversaturated with the Diddy news over the internet. Is just like blah 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 blah. So I done found the I just go straight to like law and crime for my Diddy updates, because if you listen to all these bloggers, different bloggers, man, you want your head to be spinning trying to figure out what's correct, what's factual, and what's not factual. And that's one thing about being on YouTube or on the internet and getting your information. You need to make sure you have reputable bloggers that you can get your information from. You know what I'm saying? Like, I kind of know who I can go listen to for what. I know who I can go listen to for information on certain rappers or certain geographic locations. Like, if I want to listen, if I want to know something about Chicago, I know what bloggers to get it from. You know what I'm saying? Like, shout out to Truth Teller, but I like Truth Teller, but I don't listen to Truth Teller all the time. And I'm gonna tell you why. Because Truth Teller like to straddle the fence. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes, bitch, I just need to get you to give me the real nitty gritty. And I ain't got time for you to be talking about, oh yeah, somebody told me, but I don't really know it. No, fuck that. Nigga, did the nigga kill a nigga or what, man? Did the nigga do this or what? You know what I'm saying? So I listen to Truth Teller sometimes. I respect what he got going on. Don't get it twisted. It ain't no just a Truth Teller. But I'm just giving you the comparisons as to what you need to know when you need to listen to certain bloggers, or when you need to go to get information on certain things, and which bloggers you need to listen to. You know what I'm saying? Because I got homeboys all the time. Shout out to Nate said it. I got homeboys all the time, and they be coming to me and they be like, "Hey, bro, did you hear about this and that?" And I be like, "Man, that shit is a lie." You know what I'm saying? But they don't know no better because they don't really be on YouTube like that. So they just listen, they just see the shit when they pop on YouTube and they just think the shit real. You know what I'm saying? But me knowing the reputable people to listen to for certain information, I'll be knowing that shit be a lie. I'll be like, bro, that shit is a lie, bro. That shit's fake as fuck. You know what I'm saying? And then I'll be having to explain this shit to my homies, you know what I'm saying? But that just go to show you how easy it is for lies to get out there and for narratives to be spun. And plays to be ran. I told y'all, listen, man, I ain't never, cause I ain't gonna never sound the realest motherfucker in the world or whatever. But I'm gonna tell you, I'm pretty authentic. That's what I'm gonna say. Fuck the real shit. I'm gonna say I'm pretty authentic. And I told y'all these plays that they be running and shit on YouTube. I've been told y'all. You remember I got mad when they wasn't saying nothing about Trenches News, and I told y'all that they had like a little click and all of this type of shit. And then I exposed, you know what I'm saying, the plays with Gorilla Monsoon and Big Back Mickey. You know what I'm saying? And I told y'all how they ran plays on Mama Duck. And if y'all just listen and just pay attention, y'all will see a lot of these motherfucking plays be ran. That's why I didn't jump on the Rick Ross and the Drake beef or the Kendrick Lamar and the J. Cole and Drake beef off top, because I couldn't decipher whether it was a play or not. These rappers run plays, these YouTubers run plays, and it's all for clicks, likes, and views so that they can make money off of the interest of the content. And it is, bro, I'm telling you, we had an opportunity here in order to do something great, but we fumbling it, bro. And when I mean we, I'm talking about the people who in this arena. We fumbling it, bro. And the reason why we fumbling it for money. We fumbling it for greed. It's not about the factual correct content no more. It's about shock shit. What they call it? Shock jocking, hot topics, shit like that. And who can make the most clickbait titles, or who can say the most clickbait shit or the most outrageous shit in order to get somebody to pay attention to their video so that they can get paid off the video. But when you do that, I mean, I understand you can do it a little bit, you know what I'm saying? You could bend the title a little bit or whatever, you know what I'm saying? But when you just straight up just making up shit or just lying or shit like that there, it just make it bad. It just make it bad for the whole, because we had done took the spot of, well, we have taken the spot of regular mainstream media. You can't turn on your mainstream media and hear nothing about your favorite rapper, your favorite model, your favorite influencer. These are people that wouldn't have media coverage on mainstream media. You know what I'm saying? But they do have it on Instagram, YouTube, X, formerly known as Twitter and stuff. And we ain't went to no school to become journalists and nothing like that. Well, a lot of us haven't. Some people have. And we just made a way to where we can become the new media now. You know what I'm saying? We the new media. But instead of us doing what's right by that, people are greedy. People are greedy, and people found a way to manipulate the system for money and shit like that there. And a lot of these people are already making money. You know what I'm saying? The people that manipulate the system the most is the people that's making the most money. You see what I'm saying? You a lot of times you'll come out better listen to a smaller blogger than a bigger blogger, because the smaller blogger is trying to build his or her name on giving credible information, but the bigger blogger just trying to chase views. You know what I'm saying? That's one thing I learned by fucking around with Big Back Mickey and Gorilla Monsoon. They was chasing views. I didn't understand it. Like they was like, oh, this video ain't do that much. Oh, I ain't gonna cover that because that ain't gonna do no numbers. I be just making videos on shit that I feel like interesting to me, informative, and things that I think would interest you guys, and I think that would be informative to you guys. You see what I'm saying? What I did a video on. I did a video on the lady from the Haitian the Haitian prime minister allegedly being murdered by his wife. You know what I'm saying? I did that because I felt like that's informative. I got another video on Haiti coming too about the dude that's pretty much took over Haiti. His name Barbecue. He's a militia leader, you know what I'm saying, a former police officer, but he just done took that bitch over. But I'm gonna do a video on that. You see what I'm saying? Like I don't be chasing views like that. Maybe that's why my shit ain't big like that, but I don't give a fuck though. What I'm saying is I'm staying true to the essence of what this shit's supposed to be about, and the views and the shit and all that should have come later on. You see what I'm saying? But the reason why I'm bringing all this up because it got something to do with this 1090 Jake and this Rick Ross video that 1090 Jake just dropped. I'm gonna play the video and then we're gonna get into it about the situation with Rick Ross being a CEO, which is old news. Why is 1090 Jake bringing this up at this point now? And do people care? And the effect that it may have on Rick Ross. And I'm gonna show y'all the play in what I think is the play in the whole scenario. But Pete Gang though. Can y'all hear that bit? I don't think I can hear that bit. Hold on. Cause that bitch ain't on my thing. Let me see something. Let's see. 1 second, y'all. I'm trying to see. Can I hear that bit? Hold on.
Rick Ross get money. I done did it all the time. Dudes up, put dudes behind bars, and that's what's important to me.
Pictures turn up of you online,
Right.
Or a person that looks like you online who's working as a correctional officer. Is that or is that not
That was me in the photo. I'm the truth when your truths just pretend. I your lies in every one of your lines with no flow or mind. Magnified times 5. You lost, I'm Ross.
Now bullets are flying in hip hop as back-to-back disses are being dropped and shots keep getting fired. At this point, it seems like Drake versus everybody, but one person in particular is standing out. Rick Ross would drop an immediate response to Drake's diss, but that isn't what's got my attention. Ross would keep dissing through Instagram and referring to Drake as a white boy as if that's an insult. Well, now you got a white boy's attention. Apparently, everybody forgot the big.
Oh, y'all heard 1090 Jake? You say now you got a white boy's attention. So he's saying that he ain't never spoke to Drake or none of this before this. So he's saying that. I got a question. So why did he bring this back up, y'all? Why did he bring this back up? Maybe it's maybe it's because Rick Ross called Drake a white boy, but he just said now you got a white boy attention. I don't know. Hey, ride for the white boys, ride for the gray boys. You know what I'm saying? Do your thing, my nigga. But I just want all y'all to pay attention to this as we go because I think I understand what has happened.
Boss of Miami, the hustler who knew Pablo and Noriega, the man who thinks he's Big Meech, Larry Hoover. Everybody forgot he was a fucking CO. Now, this isn't new news. Back in 2008, pictures would be released of Ross in uniform, and he'd speak exclusively with All Hip Hop, stating, "My life is 100% real. These online hackers putting a picture of my face when I was a teenager in high school on other people's body. If this shit was real, don't you think they would have more specifics, like dates and everything?"
So there you go. You got the man lying about being a CEO. Lying like a motherfucker. That shit crazy as hell.
But then 32-year-old Ross claimed the pic was photoshopped, his kingpin lifestyle was real, and there was no proof behind the CO allegations. Well, a media website by the name of The Smoking Gun would send in a public records request receiving 86 pages from the Florida Department of Corrections about Officer Ricky's short career. A photo of William Roberts, aka Rick Ross's state of Florida application, would state he received his diploma from Miami Carroll City High and went on to Albany State University to study criminal justice. On his supplementary application, he'd state his nickname was Big East and denied knowing anyone in prison, along with never working in prison or in law enforcement. Now, with every new recruit, the Department of Corrections wants to know how willing you are to complete your correctional duties. Ross would check off he's willing to work rotating shifts, carry a firearm, and work with violent inmates, homosexuals, etc. He'd also state he's willing to shoot an inmate who's attempting to escape, body search a male or female inmate, and write an incident report. In 1995, Ross would take an oath of loyalty to support the Constitution and would receive a letter stating he's now officially a correctional officer trainee at the South Florida Reception Center. 5 months later, it was now 1996, and Ross would receive an award for completing 540 hours of basic training. Ross was now an official corrections officer and can be seen taking a picture at his graduation ceremony. 4 months later, he'd receive a certificate of appreciation for perfect attendance from the same woman he can be seen shaking hands with at his ceremony. Eventually, all good things must come to an end. And in June of 1997, Ricky Rose sent in a resignation letter and officially left the force. But like I said, this isn't new news. This came out back in 2008, and 50 Cent started calling Ross Officer Ricky in 2009. That same year, Rick Ross would admit to Double XL it was in fact him in the pictures. He'd state, "Me not answering or addressing that situation has nothing to do with my career. I've accomplished enough and I've made enough money for me to be good. Yes, it was me in those pictures, but I'm going to tell you this. Me taking that job, I was doing my job. You understand what I mean?" He'd continue on saying the stuff he talks about is real, the dope is real, and the gun talk is official. But fans would forever speculate, when exactly was Rick Ross in the streets serving bricks? In an interview with the Full Send podcast, the alleged kingpin was asked about his time as a corrections officer in Florida State Prison.
You were a correctional officer at one point?
I was, yeah.
So going all the way back. When was that? How long ago?
Maybe when I was 20.
20 years old.
Yeah.
What kind of people were in there?
You know, I didn't really get to make it to the prison because you got to go through training and all that, and I didn't last long.
Right.
I may have lasted 4 months.
Right.
Before they said,
yeah,
I was a little tardy.
Now, Ross claimed he only worked the job for 4 months and never made it to a real prison because he didn't even complete training from being tardy so much. But this is the same Ross that received a certificate of appreciation for never missing a day. He'd work as a CO for 18 months at the South Florida Reception Center in Miami. This was the first stop for any inmate entering the prison system from Miami, Broward, Palm Beach, or any other neighboring counties. This was very much prison, and the South Florida Reception Center has repeatedly made the news, like when 4 COs were arrested for beating an elderly inmate to death, or when 11 inmates died from COVID. But still, Rick Ross got a pass because even if he never sold drugs a day in his life, The music sounded good enough to forget it. So why still lie about your old job? And if you weren't flipping bricks in between criminal justice class and football practice, when did it happen? Apparently in 2008, the same year the pictures were released, Rick Ross was arrested on gun and marijuana charges. The investigation would be assigned to the Gang Unit Task Force, and transcripts would state the Gang Unit was given the case because Rick Ross claims affiliation with the Carroll City Cartel. Now, Triple C's, according to Wikipedia, was a hip-hop group founded by Rick Ross in 2005. Named after the Carroll City neighborhood of Miami, the group featured Rick Ross, Gunplay, Torch, and Young Breed. The transcripts would mention YouTube, and Ross didn't shy away from his cartel affiliation because it wasn't an actual cartel. The transcripts would also reveal this was actually Ross's first arrest as an adult at 32 years old. So technically speaking, you're not a criminal until you get caught, right? And Ross was never caught until after his career already blew up. Aside from marijuana, Ross wouldn't be arrested for anything serious until 2017, when him and his former security guard kidnapped a landscaper by forcing him into a room and pistol whipping him. Ross would plea out to lesser charges as a first-time offender, and the charges would be removed from his criminal history after paying all fines and completing probation. So maybe Ross was just too smart to get caught with any bricks. Going back to his interview, Ross would state he got his job in corrections after his big homie got in trouble and suggested it.
What made you want to do that?
One of my big homies had just got in trouble, and a lot of things were going on, and he just suggested it.
You
And
fuck with it or no?
I didn't. Anything you gotta really do and fucking running and jogging and
Yeah.
all of that shit, man.
The big homie Ross was referring to is none other than Kenneth Booby Williams. Booby was the leader of the Booby Boys, an infamous murderous drug gang that terrorized Miami in the 90s. Law enforcement officials would state they built a drug empire that smuggled 5 tons and $85 million worth of cocaine across 25 Florida cities and 12 states from 1990 to 1998. The gang was blamed for 35 murders when they were all indicted. The shootings and murder rate literally dropped in 4 of Miami's worst neighborhoods. According to a Street Stories article, the Booby Boys reached national attention through Rick Ross, who rose to fame in hip-hop's cocaine era, when everybody was rapping about cocaine and selling it. He'd introduced the world to Miami's underworld by wearing a Booby Boys t-shirt, naming members in his songs, and speaking of them in multiple interviews.
When I talk about yayo, when I talk about streets, body counts, that's where I really come from. You know what I'm saying? I came up in Carroll City, the heart of Miami, and just so happened in my generation, we had a good friend of ours by the name of Kenneth Booby Williams, who was featured on America's Most Wanted in 1999. You understand? And he was accused for over 200 homicides and running an $80 million enterprise.
An anonymous person would speak with the Miami New Times back in 2008 over the correction officer controversy. He'd state, Ross ain't no fake cat. He's always been savvy in my experiences crossing paths with him way back in the day. Ross ran with the Booby Boys, who were among the top 5 gangsters down here in Miami in the mid-90s. When Booby Boys leader Kenneth Booby Williams got snatched by the feds, they also snatched several Miami-Dade police officers as well because they were on Booby's payroll. Now, Ross wasn't no kingpin himself, but close enough because he ran with some real hustlers that touched major work. Streetwise, Rick Ross's back is against the wall. He can't really elaborate on everything because Booby is still dealing with the federal case right now on appeal. The streets know that when Ross was a CO, he was working for Booby on a mission. Now, this story would coincide with what Ross said on his Full Send interview, but we don't even know who said it because the person was anonymous and could have been Rick Ross himself or a member of his team. Reading between the lines, this dude was alleging Ross got a job as a CO to work for Booby in prison, and Booby was a notorious drug gang leader. But the timelines don't even add up. Ross started working in prison in 95 and resigned in 97, the same year some of the Booby Boys got locked up. Then the feds indicted 15 of them in 1999. Ross's so-called big homie never even made it to Florida State Prison. It would end up in the feds, meaning Ross never came across him while working in state prison. Another anonymous person claiming to be the baby mother of one of the Booby Boys stated Ross was never a Booby Boy and never a dope boy either. Everyone connected to Kenneth Booby Williams was arrested, and Ross only went to high school with some of the members. She would claim Booby was an inmate at the South Florida Reception Center before going to prison when he recognized Rick Ross and thought he'd be beneficial. But even her story doesn't make sense, as Booby doesn't show up in the Florida Department of Corrections offender search. So yet again, another story that can't be proven by another anonymous source. Whether or not Ross promoted the Booby Boys to give himself a more street appearance, Ross would skyrocket into stardom and rise to legendary status in the state of Florida. Because of that, nobody really gives a fuck if Ross's whole persona was fake because he still made it. But apparently Ross does because he responded to me on Instagram. Now, I made a post about him lying over how much time he actually did working in prison, and he'd respond in a series of Instagram posts stating I'm a rat. He'd show my mugshot in one post and in another a statement. The statement would read, the suspect, Cherry, made several spontaneous statements. He stated that the gun was in his friend Alex's room inside the closet under the green shirt. He stated that he was shooting the gun in the middle of the street and that he is sorry. He stated he found it in a vacant house that he was using to piss in. He saw a shiny object and reached down and found the gun. Now, Rick Ross would at me, putting multiple rat emojis while adding Drake, saying, "White boy, who next?" He'd then make another post writing the same thing. Now, since Ross added me, I now had the ability to DM him, so I sent him a voice message back.
Oh yeah, you played, Officer Ricky. You played. I saved my homie people from getting jammed up before they went inside the house and found that gun and took them off Section 8. I blew that pistol. That was my case. You played though. I ain't wake up and put a badge on. You did.
Now, whoever decided to send that to Ross didn't send him the other 25 pages detailing what actually took place and how I admitted I fired the gun and the gun was mine to keep anyone else from being charged. Ross would make another post to Instagram, once again mentioning me.
You got your minions. What's the other white boy name? 1090. He looked like a fucking wet little whale flapping. Shut up. Mind your business, peon. Man, apologize.
Truth is, me and Drake have no ties and have never spoke, but he'd follow me on the gram shortly after Ross's little tirade. I myself was surprised Ross was so quick to respond to his CO past, as he's changed the story so many times and added new twists, alleging he was pushing weight in prison. But apparently it still strikes a nerve almost a decade later to see himself in that uniform. Like I told Officer Ricky, he's the one that decided to wake up and put on a badge.
I know you know Noriega. Real Noriega. Oh shit, Ricky's friends outside. You hit him?
Adobe Photo.
That shit crazy than a motherfucker.
There they go. Oh man, Ricky's crew. He said he got a $2 million crew in New York City. He was talking about the NYPD.
Now I know, like y'all know, everybody got favorites, and it seems that once you reach a certain level of superstardom or money, nobody really gives a fuck anymore about what used to be or what never happened. Nobody's gonna care if you never sold dope. Nobody's gonna care if you whatever, because you already made it, right? Fake it till you make it. It works out how it works out. I couldn't even find a picture of Rick Ross and Booby together. Maybe I just didn't recognize dude or whatever, but I couldn't even find a picture of them together. It was all just Ross shouting out his big homie who he ran with, but Ross was never tied into none of the shit that was going on. He was investigated as being a member of the Carroll City cartel, but obviously they saw he wasn't doing shit except making music, and there was nothing to get Ross on. I refuse to believe he's the smartest criminal. Everybody always says that shit like, oh, I didn't get caught. I didn't get caught. But all the major guys get caught. Or at least get investigated by the feds, right? Maybe you get lucky enough to beat that shit. But everybody else is getting caught. Now, Rick Ross, when he blew up, it was around the time of everyone rapping about cocaine. It fit the scene. He took off with it. He was the one from Miami that did it cool. Come to find out, he was a fucking CO, which is crazy. Because at the end of the day, you know, you got a lot of people arguing, oh, but the COs are the ones that bring us the drugs and they give us this and they give us that. They're also the ones that walk in, tell you to hang up on the phone. They don't care if it's your mother, your girlfriend, your kid. It's time to lock down. Imagine Rick Ross walking around, lock down, chow, chow. Imagine that. That's a CO. I don't give a fuck how much dope they're bringing you because they're putting somebody else in cuffs, taking them to confinement. And this is a fun fact for everybody that's been to prison. You know this is true, especially in the state of Florida. When you get a job there, it's mandatory. Your sergeant is going to press you to put inmates in confinement and write DIs on them. They want to see that you're actively doing your job, which is fucking with the inmates. So there's no way that you're in there moving dope, flipping this, selling that, not putting a bunch of other people away. Because the ones that are really moving shit, they're putting the most people away to cover up their tracks. Makes sense, right? If you're selling dope in prison, you're not locking anyone up, you're gonna look a little bit fucking suspicious. So while this guy might be serving you, he's fucking somebody else over. But to be honest with you, none of the shit about him serving anything in prison made any sense to me, because you went to college for criminal justice, you got a job inside of a prison, and then you resigned before everyone you knew went into prison. And the thing is, you were working at a reception center. So even if Booby got sent there, he'd only be there for about 6 weeks until he got transferred off to a major institution. It's just how reception works. You don't stay there. But let me know y'all's thoughts and opinions. I mean, why?
That's not technically true. Most inmates do not stay at the reception center, but some do. I have a partner named J. Jamont Burney. He's doing 30 years right now at the Central Florida Reception Center, and he's been a permanent at the Central Florida Reception Center since he caught his 30-year prison sentence. He should be home in the next year or two. But yeah, he caught 30 years for something that he didn't do. I'll tell you, I may have told y'all that story already, but this nigga completely innocent, real talk. And he's doing 30 years. Well, he's did damn near 30 years. But so what 1090 is saying is not totally true as far as like you don't stay at the reception centers. Some inmates do. Most inmates don't, but some inmates do. Shout out to SLK, something like Cloud TV. Yo.
Still lying about how much time he actually worked in the Florida Department of Corrections. If he's so big, it can't even stain his career. Make that make sense. It's 1090 Jake, a rock.
All right. Let's okay. So let's how we're gonna do this now. This is very nuanced, y'all. This is very nuanced. So let's walk through this, right? We're gonna walk through this. So I'm a fan. I'm someone that was definitely a fan of Rick Ross music. I have listened to a lot of Rick Ross music. I listen to a lot of Rick Ross music, and I'm from Florida, so I remember when Ross popped off. I remember when Ross Push came through. You know what I'm saying? The first time I saw Rick Ross in concert at the Beecham in Orlando, Florida. This is when Port of Miami came out. So this is his first success. You know, he had albums and shit before then, but this was his first success, right? And I remember going to the concert, bro. And I'm gonna tell y'all no lie, bro. Real talk. I'm in it was a club, so I'm standing in the audience and I'm watching Rick Ross on stage, no shirt on, my nigga, with by 20 of the motherfucking goons from Miami behind them, and he's just standing in the middle of them rapping, push, I'm pushing it, push, I'm pushing it, push, I'm pushing it, push, you gotta push it to the limit. So, bro, I tell you no lie, bro, the energy that was coming off that motherfucking stage and the words that was coming out his mouth, I only had that feeling twice watching somebody perform. First time it was Young Dro. When he first came out, I watched him. I think it was the Ozone Awards. He came through at the Ozone Awards, and that's when T.I. was in jail, and this one Shoulder Lean had them popped off and all that. Dro had that same aura, but Rick Ross had that same aura. It was no denying him at that point. It was amazing because he had been in the rap game for so long, but you rarely see that. You rarely see somebody that's been in the rap game so long and then they end up popping off like that. I seen 2 Chainz do it and Rick Ross, but that was about it. You know what I'm saying? It's like it was unheard of, you know what I'm saying, for him to been around so long and then for him to like come out with and all the songs on that album was like hot as fuck. You know what I'm saying? So it was no denying him, right? But as the time went on and we was able to, after 50 Cent found out that he was a CEO and all of this type of shit, and we was able to see the chinks in the armor. If you listen to Ross's music, he told us, you know what I'm saying? He said, kept my name low key. I ain't heard from him weeks. I came up with a strategy to come up mathematically. I did it for the city. Now not everybody mad at me. He telling y'all this shit was a strategy. When Rick Ross, the real Rick Ross, got out of jail, and him and Ross had that little run in, and they had that little lawsuit shit about the real Rick Ross's name. You kind of saw the chinks in the armor then. First 50 Cent exposed him successfully as a CEO. Then, if you listen to his music, he was low key trying to admit it. You know what I'm saying? He was scared that it was gonna hurt his career, so he was lying about the shit at first, and then he low key tried to admit the shit. Then when the real Rick Ross came out, it kind of shed a little light on like, damn, this nigga even took his name from Rick Ross. And if you really listen to the from the Port of Miami, he say, I know Pablo Noriega, the real Noriega, he owe me 100 favors. Listen, listen, I ain't gonna lie to you. I don't know how the fuck he's bamboozled us with that shit. Listen, listen, I ain't gonna tell you no lie. I went and looked up the real Noriega to see if he was somewhat like, when I found out that Rick Ross was the CEO for real from the 50 Cent shit, I went and looked to try to find out where Noriega was at. So, you know what I'm saying? I went to try to find out where Noriega was at so I could see whether Rick Ross could have possibly had any connection with Noriega. And then I found, now Noriega is in a United States prison, federal prison. But I'm saying Rick Ross ain't had no way of having no connections with Noriega. Definitely not Pablo. You know what I'm saying? Like, so, well, he could have had a connection with Pablo, you know what I'm saying? But I doubt it though. But because Pablo died, when Pablo Escobar got killed. I'm just saying, like, it's possible, but highly unlikely. Highly unlikely. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, we knew Rick Ross was lying after a while, right? After the 50 Cent shit came out and all this shit, but he was so successful and his music was so fucking good. Like, listen, bro, I ain't gonna like remember, Ross had a nice little run there. Port of Miami 2, the biggest what it was, what do they call it? He had a bunch of them. Ross had about a good 4 album run. You know what I'm saying? I listened to all the motherfuckers, you know what I'm saying? And we knew we been knew he lied. Put it that way. We been knew Rick Ross lied. Y'all hit that like the way in. We been knew the nigga was lying, y'all. Now, when I found out the nigga was a CEO, I've been to jail a lot of times. Like, put it this way. Let's go back to what 1090 Jake said. 1090 Jake said, this nigga is the biggest boss and all that. Most of them get caught. Most of you have some kind of dope charges. He's right, dog. Now, I know a few. I can count them on one hand. Probably less than that. I don't know too many dope people that done sold dope that they never got caught for selling dope. You know what I'm saying? Like, for real. I'm pretty sure it's less than 5. I can't remember them all, but I know a couple off the top of my head. I ain't gonna say their names, but I know a couple off my head that ain't never went to jail for selling dope or never got caught selling dope. But it's very few. I never proclaimed to be, I know Pablo Noriega, the real Noriega. He owed me 100 favors. I never even proclaimed to be that shit. But at least, even me, if you look at my record, I have numerous dope charges. I have a armed trafficking. You feel what I'm saying? Like, I have an armed trafficking on my record. Now, I didn't get convicted of it. I beat the charge. But I have a bunch of dope charges. At least, shit, I got at least 9 felonies, y'all. You know what I'm saying? Like, for real. Now, all of them ain't dope charges. But I got a lot of the motherfuckers, like, for real. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I got caught with dope a lot of times. Let me see. 2 times as a juvenile. The time I just told y'all last night I caught a seizure. That's destruction of evidence. Then I got the armed trafficking that I beat. I got caught with dope at least 4 or 5 times, y'all. I did this off the top of my head. I'm pretty sure I got caught. Nope. Then I got caught no, that's going my first 2 times. So I off the top of my head, I can remember 4 times at least, and one of them was an armed trafficking. I could have went to federal prison for that. You feel what I'm saying? That was anything over 28 grams is a trafficking charge, and of course they found guns and shit too. So it was armed trafficking. And I think I was like 18. Was I 18? I was like 18 when I was like 18 when I caught it. No. I can't remember, dog. I'd have been just so many times. I can't remember, but I was young when I caught that charge. Anyway, and Rick Ross don't got none of these charges. So he graduated from Carroll City High, right? So that puts you at 17, 18 years old. Then from there, he went to Albany State. Majored in criminal justice. He graduated from there, probably with an AA degree. He probably didn't go 4 years. He probably graduated with an AA degree. He said that he became a correctional officer. He was like 20. So that's about right. 17, 18, you do your 2 years at Albany State, get your little AA degree in criminal justice, get on out that thing, and then you go to be a correction officer, right? Then he was a correction officer for 2 years. Now that's some bullshit right there, because you lied and said you was only a correction officer for 4 months, and then come to find out you was a correction officer for 2 years. Now I'm gonna say this, y'all. It's nothing wrong with being a correction officer. It's nothing wrong with choosing that as a career path, if that's what you want to do in your life. It's a fucking job. I don't care about that type of shit. The problem with his situation is you turned into a dope dealing, alleged kingpin rapper, and you lied. You fucking lied to us. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, associates is nothing for real. But listen, but you lied though. You fucking lied. Like, that's the problem. The problem is you fucking lied. You fucking lied. You lied, and you tried to make it like you was this big kingpin, but you ain't sold as much dope. You ain't probably sold as much dope as me. And I wasn't nowhere near no motherfucking kingpin. But you ain't never sold, Rick Ross ain't sold more dope than me. I know Pablo Noriega, he owe me 100 favors. Bro, Rick, bro, listen, Marita wasn't sold more dope than Rick Ross, bro. At least I got videos of me in the trap. Go look at my shorts, y'all. Y'all can see it. Damn, homie. In high school, you was the man, homie. Fuck happened to you? Look, man, we got bamboozled, y'all. We got flukeroot, dog. We got okey doke, man. I'm talking about those of us from that time period, who supported him, who believed his stories. We got bamboozled, man. We got bamboozled. We got flukeroot. We got 52 Fake. We got Kansas City Shuffle. The hand is quicker than the eye. Harry Houdini. He got us, y'all. He got us. He got us. And now that he's wealthy and on 50,000 high-ass wing stops. Listen, I got a wing stop right by my house, bro. I promise you, them motherfuckers, listen, them bitches at first, they was like reasonable. Now, them bitches is so motherfucking high. Bro, Wingstop is higher than a motherfucker, bro. I'm telling you, bro. I'm telling you. Don't buy them high ass drinks in there. Them drinks higher than a motherfucker. Bro, I'm telling you no lie. When I go to Wingstop, bro, I spend like $40, $50, bro. Cause I'm a big nigga, dog. You know what I mean? So I eat like 20 wings, like, and then I only think they got 20, I think they got the 15. So I get the 2 15s. I can eat 30 wings. Not at one time, you know, I eat a little bit later on, but I spend about $45 to $50 when I go to Wingstop, bro. For real. I just stopped getting the drinks, my nigga. You know what I'm saying? For real. Like, you know what I'm saying? For real. I don't even get the drinks no more, bitch. I'd rather go somewhere and get me a 2 liter or a gallon of something or something, bro, from Walmart or something, bitch. Cause them drinks be too motherfucking high. But he scammed us, y'all. He scammed us. He scammed us. Rick Ross scammed us. He could not have been a kingpin. No fucking way. You graduated at school 17, 18. Straight from there, you went to motherfucking Albany State. You was in there for about 2 years. Then from them 2 years, you went to be a motherfucking CEO, and you was a CEO for 2 years. Where did you have time to be a kingpin? Then he came up with the motherfucking lie and said that they came up with the lie and said that he was doing the shit as a favor for Booby, so that when Booby get into the motherfucking prison system, he could be like a connect a CEO that he got on his team when he in there. Well, that's a lie. Booby went to federal prison. Rick Ross never was in a federal correction officer. He was a state correctional officer. Not only that, Rick Ross resigned before Booby even went to motherfucking jail. So you didn't do that shit to help out your kingpin homeboy Kenneth Booby Williams. You did that shit because you was looking at that shit as a career path. Nothing wrong with that. Listen, from the time that Rick Ross graduated Carroll City High, went to college, Albany State, and went to and got his degree, and then in criminal justice, and then went to be a correction officer. He did nothing wrong up until that point. He did nothing wrong. It's okay for somebody to have a job in corrections. That's fine. You know what I'm saying? Where he went wrong at is he resigned from that job, turned into a rapper, and not even when he turned into the rapper, that was fine. He could have been Big 5-0 off of Hustle and Flow. That's cool. But you motherfucking lied and turned it and told us that you was this kingpin out of Miami. You know Noriega, he know you 100 favors. All this bullshit. That's where you take a L at. That's where you did some lame, suck ass shit. That's where you did. That's where you sold your soul at. Because that means at that point you would do anything to make it. You know what I'm saying? Like you would have put on a skirt. You know what I'm saying? Like I look at all that shit the same. Like, bro, if you were what's the name to make it, bro? Like for money, put it away for money. If you will do some weird shit for money, like it ain't no telling what you would do. So your strategy was I'm finna put on this costume like I'm this big ass drug dealer, and I'm finna tell all these lies, and I'm finna fool everybody, and I'm finna put all these dudes around me to make me look like I'm a big time dope dealer, and I'm finna sell this shit to a motherfucking public. Wow, he ain't no different than what's that movie? Uh, Catch Me If He Can. He's a con artist. He's a con artist. He's a con artist. Know what I'm saying? And I'm gonna tell you something I paid attention to too. As Ross done got wealthy, he done got lamer and lamer. If you listen to Rick Ross talk now, he can't even come like when he try to like clap back and talk back to anybody who he in some kind of disagreement with, he just come across as a goofy. He come across as lame. When I be listening to him, he be talking so goofy. Get you some money, get you some money, young brother. Get you some money. I got the Bear Lair in the fox fur slipper zone. Ross. Like, come on, man. Like, come on, bro. Like, he don't even got nothing of substance to say when anytime he in some type of disagreement with somebody over the internet. I have yet to hear him say one thing that I was like, oh yeah, I'm with Ross. Most of the time I'd be like, man, just shut the fuck up, bro, because you just sound so fucking goofy. And when I saw that, it let me know that this is who he is. He the shit before was an act, but now that he done got wealthy and all of that shit, he don't have to pretend no more. So the lame nigga, the goofy nigga, the William, the real person, it comes out. And I ain't gonna tell you no lie. I've been felt this way for probably about a good year or so now. When I see Rick Ross in his mansion and he be talking, when I see him out there trying to cut down a tree, or when I see him out there with a motherfucking buffalo or some bullshit like that, or he riding a tractor or some shit, like I'll be like, this nigga so lame. When I seen him with the fur coat, that's why I put that picture in the thumbnail with him with the fur coat on, with the big shoes on, with the chicken legs, looking like with the fat stomach, looking like a capital R. I'm just like, look at this nigga, man. Like this nigga just lame. I ain't gonna tell you no lie, bro. He is far, it's so far on away from the person that we believed he was when he first came out. He got us. And I ain't talking about y'all young people. Y'all young people, y'all listen to drill music. He ain't get y'all. I'm talking about us old heads, the ones that was around when the nigga first popped off. You know what I'm saying? For real, for real. Like, so we gotta accept it now. We gotta accept it. Now, let's break down this 1090 Jake situation, because like I told y'all, one thing I learned by fucking with Big Back Mickey and Gorilla Monsoon, fake Timu Chain Man, I learned that a lot of this shit on the internet is fugazi, is fake, and most of these people that make content on the internet, they have an angle, and it's strategic. A lot of this shit is strategic. Hit that like button, y'all. Please hit that like button. Please hit that like button. Shout out to Eddie. Hey, Eddie. It's strategic, right? So ask yourself, right? Since we already knew that Rick Ross was a CEO, why is 1090 Jake coming out with this now, right? Now, I stopped the video when Rick Ross said, called Drake a white boy, and then 1090 Jake said, well, you got this white boy attention. That could be a reason. That could be a reason. But I don't think that could be, I don't think that's the whole reason. Now, check this out, right? 1090 Jake said he didn't have no relationship with Drake. He never spoke to Drake. But after this, Drake started following him. Now, I've been paying attention. He right. As far as we know, he right. I paid attention to when Drake started following him. Drake did just start following him after this, right? If Drake would have sent 1090 Jake on this mission, he wouldn't have followed him right after this shit happened. he would have already been following him, or he would have never followed him. Because if you follow him, that's kind of insinuating that you sent him to assassinate Ross's character, right? So I don't think that Drake sent 1090 Jake on this mission. What I think is, I think 1090 Jake saw this as an opportunity. Peep the play here. And 1090 Jake and 1090 Jake don't won. Really, he won. That's why we trying to tell y'all. Just like Big Back Mickey and Gorilla Monsoon, fake Timu Chain, man, pulled that move on Mama Duck. The same way that 1090 Jake just finessed Drake, and he finessed Rick Ross, right? And he used the Rick Ross situation. He injected his own self in this beef. Nobody put 1090 Jake in this beef. I'm just trying to show y'all, hit that like button on the way in. I'm just trying to show y'all, say, why Jake telling us stuff we already know about Ross? Because he trying to, he accomplished his goal. What he trying to do is he using the situation to clout up even more. Listen, I keep trying to tell y'all, bro. Listen. Shout out to King AK-47 because he's been saying this for a while. Anytime you see, remember he was saying that when you see Youngboy and Dirt going through it, it might be a play. Now, I don't know if that's true, but it's the same thing when you pay attention. I don't know if that's true. That's what he's been saying, but I'm just trying to show you he been on the right trail for a while here. This is a play, in my opinion. It's clear if you pay attention to it. 1090 Jake just successfully got Rick Ross to. Okay, put it this way. He said Rick Ross added him, right? And then now that Rick Ross added him, he could send Rick Ross a message. When Rick Ross added him, what did he just do? He got right in Rick Ross DMs and talk shit and troll, right? 1090 Jake wouldn't do that if Rick Ross wasn't somebody. This is a publicity play, and he won. He won. Let me tell you how he won. He got Rick Ross successfully to act him in the same motherfucking story as Drake. Pete Game. He successfully got Rick Ross to act him in the same post as he did Drake. Not only that, he got Drake to follow him without even asking Drake to follow him. I told y'all, bro. I told y'all this shit is dog. This shit like chess, you know. And that's one thing I learned. You know what I'm saying? This shit is strategic. Very few people who on this internet that make content, very few of them don't have angles. Most of them have some sort of angles, either with the title, either with the thumbnail, or even with the stuff that they're saying. If you pay attention right now, you got Byron Blake. I started watching Byron Blake just because he just was making so much noise, you know, coming at certain people. I watched Byron Blake, right? He will get on his thing, his platform, and he will make all these videos about this and that there. But I clearly caught him with a Photoshop video about King AK-47. I did that. Nobody put me up on it. I just was watching Byron Blake video, and I could clearly tell this was a Photoshop video, which means you are trying to frame this man for what? So you can make content. So you can blow up. This is what they do. And this is why this shit just be like so. This shit be so fugazi to me. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, and it goes back to what my brother Audio Crack 22 said. He say, most people that's on this shit doing this content, this is what they do. And if you ain't gonna play the game, then a lot of times you won't be as successful as a lot of these other dudes. And he's somewhat right. He right, unless you're gonna do interviews, unless you're gonna just pay people to come and you just gonna ask them questions. That's a way to level up without selling your soul and doing all these fake ass publicity stunts or bamboozling the people or coming up with these angles in order to generate some sort of interest in your content, right? But just peep the play. Just peep the play. You see what they did to Mama Duck? You see what Big Back Mickey and Gorilla Something Monsoon Man, fake Timu Chain Man did to Mama Duck? Bro, they disrespected that lady's son in order for views. If that ain't motherfucking clout chasing, I don't know what. Both of them got children, they motherfucking self. And they sold their motherfucking soul just for views. Fuck the karma that may come back their way because they got children on their own. You see what I'm saying? I'm just trying to show you the character of these people. Y'all gotta realize, bro, I'm a regular dude. I keep telling y'all this shit, bro. I'm a regular motherfucker, bro. I'm a regular motherfucker. I ain't no better than y'all. I'm not no celebrity, no shit like that. I'm a regular motherfucker that got a regular life. That's it. I'm no better than y'all, promise you. You know what I'm saying? So this shit be foreign to me. Like it's sort of like when somebody get into a rap game and then they be thinking that the shit real and then the shit fake. That's the same shit with this YouTube shit. These people be faker than a motherfucker. They listen, them bitches hate me because they know I'm gonna tell it. You feel what I'm saying? But that's why I keep my shit. That's why I keep myself humble. I keep myself real because life be happening to me just like it happened to everybody else, but it ain't no facade. I ain't no Rick Ross. I ain't somebody that's gonna lie to you and tell you that I sold a bunch of kilos and I know Noriega, you know me, the fables. No, I'm regular old Marita that's gonna give it to you real, give it to you straight, gonna tell you about some real shit, about some real life shit, not look down on you, not judge you. You know what I'm saying? This is a place that you can come and you can talk and we gonna be on some real shit. I'm not trying to trick nobody to come over here and lie to you and all of this shit done. Man, y'all get enough of that shit. Y'all got it's enough motherfuckers on YouTube doing that shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, you feel what I'm saying? I never been one to really I told y'all this a long time ago. Shout out to Chick. Y'all, you've been here a while. And I told y'all a long time ago, man, I enjoy my community of people that fuck with me. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can look into the chat and I feel like I know all of y'all. You feel what I'm saying? I'm cool with that. You feel what I'm saying? Now, if the platform grow. But I'm somebody that I feel like whatever God got for you, you gonna get it. So you ain't got to chase it. You ain't got to lie and bamboozle the people like Rick Ross or whoever the rest of these motherfuckers is to get it. It's just gonna come to you. Just be your authentic self and you'll stand out eventually. It'll be your time one day. Don't hate on nobody. Just do your thing. Just stay in your lane. You be original. If you doing what everybody else doing, then how you gonna be different? How you gonna stand out? So anyway, back to this 1090 Jake shit. 1090 Jake saw this as a angle. He saw this as, okay, I see Rick Ross beefing with Drake, and I could use this as a way to level up. That's what he did. 1090 Jake is now being followed by Drake. 1090 Jake listen, Rick Ross added 1090 Jake in the same post as Drake. I told y'all when Big Back Mickey and Gorilla Monsoon Man, fake Timu Chain Man did that for Mama Duck to Mama Duck, that unspeakable nasty shit they did to Mama Duck. You know why they did it? All they wanted was Mama Duck to talk about Mickey. That's what it was for. They laughed like a motherfucker when Mama Duck went live and was trying to understand why was Big Back Mickey, Big Silverback Mickey, making that video with the free Moonwalk shirt on. That's what they wanted. Same thing what 1090 Jake doing. 1090, all 1090 Jake wanted was for first, it was, be honest with you, in the Jedi mind trick games of YouTube and shit like this, it was a genius play. And had I not been affiliated with the scum of the earth, I wouldn't have never understood the games that people play on this internet, but now I do. If you pay attention to it, it was a real chess move. First of all, if you drop a Rick Ross video, the only bit of information that was in the video that was new was that Rick Ross was a CEO for 2 years. We didn't know that. We thought that he was only a CEO for 4 months. Now, for him being a CEO for 2 years, do it matter? Yeah, hell yeah, hell yeah. That's a long time. You know what I'm saying? Like, that nigga had perfect attendance. You know what I'm saying? Like that, bitch. Like bitch, I ain't never had perfect attendance on nail job I went on. You know what I'm saying? Like, and you got perfect attendance going to the correctional center, being a CEO. You know what I mean? That's your dedication. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, 1090 Jake was gonna make money off the video that he dropped, and he was gonna cloud up by Rick Ross adding him. If you pay attention, the beef between him and Rick Ross happened before he made the video. 1090 just dropped the video today. The beef between him and Rick Ross been going on for a couple days now on Instagram. So 1090 Jake parlayed this into some more money. I mean, some money for him by making the video. Think about it. Rick Ross had already added him on Instagram in the post Champagne Poppy with him and Drake. Rick Ross so slow. He talking about Drake sent him. No, Drake didn't send him. He sent his motherfucking self, and he bamboozled you because he got you. He got under your skin by some old shit that we already knew, and he got you to at him and Drake in the same motherfucking post. Checkmate, nigga. 1090 Jake is the smartest bitch in the room when you pay attention to it. Feel what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? I'm telling y'all, this is what happens, y'all. You know what I'm saying? For real. So I'm just explaining to y'all the play. So this was a play, y'all. So shout out to Nate when they said, why is 1090 telling us something that we already knew? Because he really using something that we already knew as a way for him to get more clout. He got added by Rick Ross. He got followed by Drake. Drake and Rick Ross got bamboozled when you really pay attention to it. Drake wouldn't be following 1090 Jake had Rick Ross had not added him in the same motherfucking post, in the same story. So 1090 Jake done finesse Rick Ross into putting Drake up on 1090 Jake. This shit be finesse. I'm telling y'all, bro. Leave it to your boy Marita right here to put y'all up on game, bro. I'm telling y'all, that's what this shit about. And the crazy part about it, he used something that we, like Nate said, he used something that we already knew. Like Rick Ross wasn't supposed to fall for this one, but that lets you know how sensitive he is about this subject. That's why, let me tell y'all something, bro. Sometimes the best move is to do nothing. Trust me when I tell you this shit, bro. Trust me. Sometimes people always think it gotta be a reaction for an action. No, the fuck it don't. No, the fuck it don't. Sometimes your best move is to not do nothing. Let me explain to you why. If I know that if I push you, you're gonna push me back, then I can manipulate you. Because I might already want to get into it with you. I have seen dudes come on the block and nitpick a nigga to death until that nigga get into it with him, and then that other nigga kill him. He already wanted to do that. The other nigga already had a gun on him and everything. He just came on the block that day, the nitpick the nigga, the nitpick the nigga, the nitpick the nigga, the nitpick the nigga, the crack on the nigga, the talk shit, the disrespect the nigga, until the nigga finally said something out the way to him or tried to fight him, and the nigga pull out a gun and kill him. He got manipulated. You got to do the unexpected. You feel me? That's how you outthink a nigga. You do the unexpected. When a nigga think that you're supposed to come at them, you don't. When a nigga think that you ain't supposed to come at them, you do. This is how you beat. This is how you chess, not checkers these niggas. How you think I survived this long? They were like, oh, Marita, the nigga doing all this and that. You supposed to go down there and kill him for what? So I can be in motherfucking jail the next day? Bitch, I ain't slow. Nigga, I got a police officer as my moderator. She would be obligated to motherfucking do her duty if Marita boy went down there and did something to that nigga. I ain't slow up for a fuck. You can't peer pressure me into a motherfucking thing. People like to tell you. See, that's the problem. People so emotional and not confident in who they are, to where they will act a certain way or behave a certain way because people are watching or people are looking, or people, they feel like what people think about them matters. It don't. A wise man understands that he knows nothing. You see what I'm saying? A bitch can't trick me off my square. Anything, I told my children this. Anything that you do in life, one thing you better not do, you better not come in my house and tell me that you did something because somebody else persuaded you to do it. If you gonna do something, you better motherfucking make sure that you did it on your own with your own mind. That's how I roll. Bitch can't trick me off shit. So motherfucker could laugh, or motherfucker say this, or motherfucker say that. But when you pay attention to really me, I'm confident in who I am. I don't gotta portray to be no killer. I told y'all I ain't never killed nobody, but I will blow your motherfucking brains out if it's between me and you, or somebody that I love or care or something like that. You can believe what you want to motherfucker believe, but I promise you, you'll be a 1-year-old ghost fucking with me. You'll be flying around singing all day with baby wings on, playing a motherfucking harp. And I won't have, I go to Wingstop, bitch, eat some wings. Eat some wings. Think about your funeral, bitch. You know what I'm saying? Like, for real, like, you know what I mean? Like, so people get caught up in the look of shit and all this and that. Oh yeah, he looked like this, he looked like that. But when you really from the trenches, when you really from that shit, you realize that them motherfucker killers look like anything. Them motherfucker look like an old lady. Them motherfucker look like a crackhead. Them motherfucker look like a gangster. Them motherfucker look like a fine, beautiful woman. Like, it come in all shapes and sizes. I knew this dude named Miami. And he ended up killing this crackhead named. No, hold on. Let me think. I'm trying to think of a crackhead that I know killed somebody. I know some crackheads that killed somebody, but I just can't think about the top of my head. But I'm just saying, when you look at the crackhead every day, you know what I'm saying? We used to send him to the store and all this type of shit. You'll swear, like, I seen people beat him up for running off with their dope and shit like that. You'll get what's the word I'm looking for? You'll get lullabied into thinking that this person is a nobody, this person is a peon, this person is just beneath everybody. Until that day that crackhead come back and blow one of your homeboys' brains out. And everybody just be standing there looking like, what the fuck just happened? How did JoJo just get killed by Uncle John? Or 80-year-old crackhead that we used to beat up all the time? Because this is how these things happen. I keep trying to tell them. So back to the subject. 10 out of Jake pulled a nice fluke move. And he finessed Drake and he finessed Rick Ross. And right now, 10 out of Jake is sitting back laughing because he's making money off of the video. He made sure he put in the video that Rick Ross added him. He made sure he posted Rick Ross's stories. He made sure that he posted Rick Ross, the DMs that he sent to Rick Ross. Peep the play, y'all. This is all clout moves. This is all I'm not hating on him. We in class right now. We in school right now. And I'm just explaining to y'all, showing y'all what y'all looking at. You see what I'm saying? It's the Kansas City Shuffle. It's the ham quicker than the eye. It's the bamboozle. It's 10 out of Jake won in the content arena when it comes to this. Rick Ross ain't benefit nothing. He clouded 10 out of Jake up. Drake ain't benefit shit. All he got was probably some more content, some more content for a diss song, but it was shit that he already knew. He already had said that Rick Ross was an officer in the first diss song that he made. So what else did he learn new? The only person that gained in the situation was 1090 Jake. This is the real of what you saw. This is the real behind 1090 Jake making this video, interjecting himself into the Rick Ross and Drake beef. What reason? Like he talking about, well, this white boy got something to say. Man, stop it, bro. You use that shit. Or you standing up all the white boys now. Well, why Adam 22 ain't jump in? Why ain't the rest of these white boys ain't jump in? Because they understand that that's not the real reason why you jumped in. You ain't give a damn because he said something about white boy. You know what I mean? And to be real with you, Drake ain't even a whole real white boy. So you can't even say that you even coming to Drake rescue because he white. Nigga, we all know that if you got drop a black in you, white folks consider you black. You feel what I'm saying? Like your daddy could be black, your mama could be black, your mama could be white, your daddy could be white. But if one of them motherfuckers is Afro, you consider black when it comes to the Caucasian people. So 10 out of Jake sitting up here talking about that he coming to Drake rescue because he's a white boy. Stop the cap. Stop the cap. Stop the cap, bro. Stop the cap. You know what I'm saying? I'm telling you, I'm just explaining y'all this shit, bro. That like they slick now. You know what I mean? If y'all ain't, you know what I'm saying? I'm telling you, I probably wouldn't even paid attention to. I probably wouldn't even knew this shit had I not had the interaction with them folks or whatever. You feel what I'm saying? But now that I see things different now. I can see the matrix, you know what I'm saying? And I can see the angles that people be playing on this internet. And I ain't gonna lie to you, I ain't hating on 10 out of J. We just using this shit as a subject for class, you know what I'm saying? But I don't like that type of shit, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not hating on them, do your thing. So I'm not saying it like that. I'm saying for me, I'm not finna be doing all of that just in order to, you know what I'm saying? Just to get people to react to what the shit I'm saying. You feel what I'm saying? Anybody that ever reacted to something that I said was organic. When Fredo Bang came on my channel, that was organic. I didn't go over Fredo Bang's deposition thinking that Fredo Bang was gonna watch my channel. No, I just did the shit so we could have some information on his the Melly case, and we could understand that Fredo Bang did have a deposition. You know what I'm saying? When I made the video on Ruger, and Ruger jumped in my DMs, I didn't do that shit for Ruger to have a reaction to what I said. I did that shit legitimately because I was on the content. They reacted to what I said. It wasn't me trying to bait Ruger into no motherfucking reaction. You feel what I'm saying? They did that shit to Mama Duck to bait Mama Duck into a reaction. You see what I'm saying? That's what I'm trying to tell y'all what be happening here, man. This shit be crazy. Hit that like button on the way in, man. Hit that like button on the way in, man. This shit be crazy, bro. These people is It's sad though, bro. It's sad though. That's why I don't even watch all this shit no more, bro. Like I be watching, like I saw when listen, bro. I ain't got nothing against Byron Blake. Period. Nothing against him. Don't know the dude. None of no shit like that. But when I saw motherfucking that he done mother that he made that he was using a photoshopped video of King AK-47 to say that King AK-47 was a police officer. It just turned me. I was like, okay, bro, like, damn, bro, I ain't got nothing to do with none of this shit. I'm really legitimately trying to give you an opportunity, so I can see if you somebody that I would like to be watching on YouTube, and you just done blew it. You just done blew it. You just done fumbled it by me seeing that you is one of them people that will fabricate lies in order and try to character assassinate somebody else in order to big yourself up, bro. It's enough fake motherfuckers bullshit going on the internet that you can do the shit that you can legitimately talk about legitimately fake motherfuckers or police motherfuckers and and elevate yourself. You got real police. You got Churches News. That's a real motherfucking CI. But no, what you want to do is you want to fabricate shit on another person, and on top of that, like in order for you to big yourself up, that shit so lame to me. And the thing about it, Byron Blake had a little, for me, he had a little credibility until I saw that. Nobody even, bro, listen, nobody even put me up on that. I just happened to be watching this video and I'm like, hold on now. That shit say 214,000 subscribers. But I'm looking at the video of King AK-47 in that motherfucker, and that shit was 2 years ago. I know damn well King AK-47 ain't had no 214,000 subscribers 2 years ago. So I go to King AK-47 page and look at his subscribers at the time that I'm looking at the video. It got the same amount of subscribers, 214,000 subscribers. So that let me know that the bottom half of that goddamn video was of his subscribers now, but the top part was of an old video, and they photoshopped that shit on there, and Byron Blake had that shit on his page. At that point, now anything Byron Blake say, I don't even want to motherfucking hear it. He could tell it could be some factual shit, but he just done fucked it up. You see what I'm saying? Bruh, that's what these people be doing. This shit be lame as fuck, dog. For real. I ain't gonna lie to you. That's why I kind of lost my little passion for this shit a little bit. You know what I'm saying? I kind of just was like watching, and I wasn't even making no videos. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of that shit was like blah 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 blah. And if it don't interest me, I ain't making no video on it. It's a lot of shit that be happening that I see a lot of people make videos on, but if the shit don't interest me, I ain't making no video on it. You know what I mean? If it's shit bullshit or so what they call that shit? So he say she said that shit it ain't really, you know what I'm saying? This shit right here, shout out to 10 out of Jake though. I use this as a learning situation for you guys, for those people who watch my channel and watch my content, so you guys will be able to have y'all eyes open for these motherfuckers that be pulling these stunts and shit like that. They'll, you know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna lie to you. That's why I didn't even cover the Kendrick Lamar and J. Cole and the what's the name beef either, because I didn't know if they were just doing that shit for album sales. You see what I'm saying? Like, you know. But anyway, let's get on to NBA Youngboy, man. You know what I'm saying? NBA Youngboy. Which we all know NBA Youngboy went to jail. Damn. Damn, Youngboy. Ooh, man, Youngboy. Pull some shit. Let's see. Damn, Cottrell. Say them folks raided Grave Digger Mountain, my nigga. Damn, dog. All right, let me pull this shit up for y'all. Hit that like button, y'all. Please donate to the channel, man. Hit that cash app. It don't matter if it's $1, $2, $3, $4, $5. Your boy really would appreciate it, man. Cash app on the screen. So it says NBA Youngboy never broke again, aka NBA Youngboy, was arrested Tuesday, April 16th in Utah, where he has been under house arrest on Grave Digger Mountain. Y'all already know my boy done talked about Grave Digger Mountain. For more than 2 years while awaiting trial on federal gun charges. The rapper, real name Cottrell Golden, was arrested on 6 charges ranging from drug and gun possession to identity fraud. According to inmate records from the Cache County Sheriff's Office, the charges include procuring or attempting to procure prescription drugs. Okay, so procuring, I'm from Florida, y'all. Y'all gotta watch. Y'all gotta, y'all gotta excuse me on my pronunciation. But procuring means attempting to possess, like procuring. That's possessing, procuring. I procured something. I procured those car keys. You see what I'm saying? So that means he tried to possess it, but it says procuring or attempting to procuring prescription drugs, which would lead me to believe that means that he was attempting to get some sort of prescription drugs illegally. You get what I'm saying? Because you can procure prescription drugs legally. You know, you got your prescription from your doctor and you take it to CVS or the Walgreens or wherever your pharmacy is, and you give them the scripts and you give them your ID and you give them your real name, and then, you know, you get the prescription drugs. That's the legal way of doing it. So it says procuring or attempting to procure prescription drugs, possession of other controlled substances, and possession of dangerous weapon by a restricted person. Okay, so possession of controlled substances. Controlled substances, that is illegal narcotics. Like, well, I ain't gonna say narcotics, I'm just saying illegal drugs. So it could be marijuana, possession of controlled substance. It could be lean. It could be prescription pills. It could be any drug, basically. You know what I'm saying? And it could be a legal drug, but if he is not legally supposed to have that drug, then he still could get possession of a controlled substance. Case in point. So you can legitimately get a prescription for lean, right? You can get prescribed promethazine and codeine from your doctor legally, right? But if you possess that illegally, so say I get a prescription for promethazine and codeine, and then I sell you my bottle of lean, and you get stopped with it, you can get a possession of a controlled substance. You know why? Because codeine is a controlled substance. You know what I'm saying? So you can get that charge. So whatever that is some sort of illegal, it's some sort of drugs, to possession of controlled substance, the possession of prescription drugs, physical substance. Okay, boom. Now it says possession of a dangerous weapon by a restricted person. This charge here, I have never seen this motherfucking charge here. Hit that like button, y'all. Hit that like button. Hit that like button. Please hit that cash app. Donate to the channel. This charge I have never seen before. Possession of a dangerous weapon by a restricted person. To me, that sounds like a knife or sword or something like that. That's what that sounds like. You know what I'm saying? Because maybe a crossbow. It's some sort of, it's not a gun. It's some sort of weird, it's something that can be considered as a weapon, but Youngboy probably didn't think that he wasn't supposed to have it. It make me feel like it's a knife, a sword, some shit like that. Because this is what it say: a possession of a dangerous weapon by a restricted person. To me, that sounds like a knife, bro, or a sword. You know, if you have a knife that's longer than a certain amount of inches, you know that could be, that could you could be restricted from having it, especially if you're on probation. When you're on probation, and parole, and shit like that, you don't have no rights, y'all. You don't have no rights. If you get stopped by the police, you supposed to allow them to search you and everything. Trust me, I've been on probation a lot of times. Like, you know what, a normal person can be like, nah, you can't search me, da da da. When you're on probation or shit like that, you can't even do that. You have to let them search you. Like, you feel what I'm saying? Like, if they want to come, if they have a want to come to your house and they want to, put it this way, a probation officer, they can come to your house and search your house, especially if you on probation for certain shit. Like, so say you is on probation for narcotics or something like that, drugs or something like that. They can come in your house. Your probation officer can come in your house and look in your drawers and shit like that. There. And you have to allow them because that's part of your probation. When you sign those papers in order to be freed on probation, you better read that small print. Yes, you have to submit to searches of your property and yourself at any discretion of law enforcement. Also, let's say you went to jail for drunk driving or something like that, and then you get on probation or something like that. You have to, if your probation officer want to come in your house and look in your refrigerator, you motherfucking got to let them in your refrigerator. And if them motherfuckers see some bills and some alcohol or some of your refrigerator, you can possibly be violated for that. I remember one time I was on probation for, I can't remember. Y'all been on probation so many motherfucking times. I can't remember. But either way, I was dirty, y'all. I was dirty. I had done smoked some weed, right? Right. And when I went to my probation officer for that month, normally they ain't get no. I used to get drug tests like every 2-3 months. So I'm thinking I ain't gonna get no drug test, right? Oh man, how about when I get in that motherfucker? They drug testing everybody, bro. I'm sitting in that motherfucking chair. I'm just sweating. I want to leave about that bitch, but you leave about that bitch, you gonna might get violated. So I'm like, damn, right. So they motherfucking called me to go to the little room for a drug test. How about when I get there, I'm thinking they finna make me take a P test. You know what they do? They hand me this little thing, this little cylinder. It was like a little plastic cylinder, and it had like little crystals in that motherfucker. Like, and they told me to blow, and I blew on the motherfucker, and they was like, nah, he good, and they let me out that bitch. So instead of them drug testing me for marijuana, if they would have drug tested for marijuana, I would have failed. They made me blow on this little plastic clear cylinder with crystals in it to see if I had been drinking. And if I had been drinking, they was gonna violate my probation. I I had never did that before. I didn't know they even do that shit. I never seen that type of shit before. But yeah, so yeah, if you motherfucking got some alcohol or something like that, whatever, they can search you. So search your shit and then you might violate. So I'm assuming that the possession of a weapon by a restricted person is like a knife or a sword or some shit. You know what I mean? It might be like a souvenir or some shit. And but I'm gonna say this too now. That charge right there seemed like they just was trying to find something to charge him with. I ain't gonna tell y'all no lie, bro. That don't seem like no. Uh, Sometimes when they really that charge right there signifies they trying to put you in jail and by any means necessary. Because if you look at the other charges, they don't need to charge him with possession of a dangerous weapon by a restricted person. You got him on procuring or attempting to procure prescription drugs, possession of controlled substances, right? Now I'm gonna tell you what, but I'm gonna tell you also what this means too. If you ask me, it's a includes procuring or attempting to procure prescription drugs, possession of controlled substances. That make me feel like them charges ain't that strong because if you're gonna try to charge me with possession of a dangerous weapon by a restricted person, that's this charge right here is because you think that these other charges ain't that strong. So if I end up beating these charges to get around these charges right here, you know you definitely got me on a dangerous weapon by a restricted person. Because you gotta understand, bro. These is when you go to jail a lot of times, or you done seen a lot of people, you've been around people that go to jail, you get familiar with certain charges or hearing these charges. I promise you, I have never heard of this shit. The possession of a dangerous weapon by a restricted person. This is like some shit y'all looked in the law book and you found this charge in order to charge him with. You know what I'm saying? I'm just showing y'all what we're looking at here. Now, let's keep going. A pattern of unlawful activity, identity fraud, and forgery. All right, let's get to the easy ones off top. The identity fraud and the forgery, those, in my opinion, go along with this procuring or attempting to procure prescription drugs, possession of controlled substance. And I'm gonna just say this: I have a forgery charge on my record. I got uttering forgery. I think I got like two or three of them bitches. You know what I'm saying? I told y'all, listen, man. So, I do understand the different ways that you can get a forgery charge, and how you get a forgery charge is that means you signed some sort of document, um, and you signed it saying and with a name that's not your real name. You see what I'm saying? That's how you get a forgery. That means that you signed a document, and it doesn't have to be a legal document. It could be a forged or fake document too. And that means you signed a document with somebody else's name, and that's not your name. That's how you get a forgery. To me, that goes along with it. Could be it could be a bad too. That's what I'm saying. It's a possession of dangerous weapon by a restricted person. It could be. I'm telling you, listen. My nephew caught a burglary, right? Do you know they charged him for having burglary tools with a screwdriver? Now, a screwdriver is a screwdriver. A screwdriver, you take out screws with it. You can, it's a screwdriver. But being that he had caught a burglary charge, they changed that screwdriver into a burglary tool. So, in which it could be a burglary tool. So, it could be a bad shout out to the chicks. But back to this, it say identity fraud and forgery. So to me, the forgery goes along with the procuring or attempt to procure prescription drugs. So to me, this sounds like he had some strips. To me, it sounds like he had some, or they found some strips in his house, and they're charging him with the strips. Now, my question is, how do they motherfucking how can they charge him with uttery and forgery? Well, how can they charge him with forgery if they did not catch him at the time, um at whatever place he was at, forging the documents? You see what I'm saying? So let's say NBA Youngboy had a strip, and he was passing the strip to your local pharmacy up there in Cache County in order to get him some lean prescription pills or whatever that he take, or whatever drug that they say that he possibly had in his possession, right? That means he would have had to forge the script and pass the script to the pharmacy. But if you don't have him on camera forging the strip, how do you know he the one who wrote the strip? So if, let's say, they come to his house and they find some prescriptions at his house that's not his, that's forged, how can you say that he forged them? You see what I'm saying? To me, this sounds like somebody told on him a little bit. It sounds like somebody told a little something. You know what I'm saying? Or either, and I can't believe that Youngboy is. I can't believe that Youngboy himself would walk down or would go to a pharmacy, in Cache County, and try to pass a prescription, a fake prescription off. He's a famous celebrity. Everybody knows him. Like, let's be real here. So, if I had to guess, I believe that somebody told on him. I believe that somebody told that he got prescriptions that's not his prescriptions, and he be forging the prescriptions. Because other than that, if you don't got him on camera forging the scripts, how do you know that he got a for? How do you know he put? How you know that that's his handwriting? How do you know? You don't know. And let's be real. They charged him with that now. So y'all ain't even unless somebody took them the fakes, unless somebody took some of the strips to the police and they had time to investigate and check the handwriting and all of that type of shit, or either if they got the strips and they fingerprinted the strips and his fingerprints on them. Let me tell you something. That's how I caught an utterly forgery one time. One and did I go to jail for it? Let me see. Yeah, I did time for it. So I could talk about it. So I had a check cashing ring. If I told y'all this before, a long time ago, I got a check cashing ring, and I used to make a couple of dollars, and every now and then I do it myself. You feel what I'm saying? I had a crew, you know what I mean, and that's how you start. You start off by doing them yourself, but then after a while you elevate and you have a crew. You know what I'm saying? So I had a crew, but sometimes I get greedy. Sometimes I get greedy and I go pop off myself. Or sometimes what if my crew ain't want to go work and I wanted to go make me some money? I go myself. Like, you know what I'm saying? I jump in my wheel and I slide myself. I go all the way out of town. I go to Polk County. I go to Tampa. You know what I mean? I done been everywhere in Florida, my nigga, on to the side. And I by myself, you know what I'm saying? I have me some weed. I have me some liquor. And I'll be gone. You know what I'm saying? I might not come back home for like 2-3 days. I leave my baby mama, the kids, everybody at the house. I'm gone. I'm going to Tampa. You know what I'm talking about? I'm out of here. And one time how they got me was I didn't get caught actually at the place because I was good at peeping when they was up on me and I would leave. So what happened was I ended up getting stopped by the police maybe a year or so later. And when they ran my name, they told me that I had a warrant for utterly forgery. And they ended up taking me to jail. And come to find out once I went to jail, bonded out and got my discovery, how they knew it was me was when they got the document, they fingerprinted it, and it was one of my fingerprints was on the document. So that's how I ended up catching the utterly forgery charge. I ended up doing time for it. I didn't do that much time though. I think I ended up doing like 10 days for that shit or whatever. Like for real. I ain't doing much time for that shit. Straight up. I had a lawyer and shit. I had a good ass lawyer. Shout out to Brian Duckworth. You know what I'm saying? Brian Duckworth. And so I know how you get how you get a forgery. So that's what I'm saying. How would he get it? That's one way he could get a forgery. But to me, it sounds like somebody told on Youngboy. But let me read this other charge. It's a pattern of unlawful activity. I never heard of that, y'all. I never fucking heard of that. A pattern of unlawful activity. What? A pattern of unlawful activity. I'm trying to figure out what that is. That sounds like Youngboy done violated before and they let him slide. Because if he did an unlawful act, that's a violation of his release conditions, which means he should have went to jail or he should have been violated then. And if he's showing a pattern of unlawful activity, that means y'all had knowledge of these acts previously and y'all allowed him to stay free. So I remember the Youngboy was on the Instagram. You see the picture with the pills in his mouth and shit like that. But I mean, you don't know what them pills is. Them shit could be, anything. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, he had the pill bottle. I mean, it looked like it looked like he was doing some type of illegal shit. But I'm saying, like, I just don't understand what you mean, a pattern of unlawful activity. Because he should not be able to get a pattern of unlawful activity. Once he do one unlawful act, that should have been a violation and he should have been violated. And if he do have a pattern of and if he do unlawful act and you don't violate him, that means that that means that what he did was okay. Well, I ain't gonna say it was okay, but it means that you can't use that because you already done gave him a pass for that. Yeah, they could be Mentos shot at Illuminegro for real. Like, we don't know what the fuck that is in his mouth. But anyway, let's keep reading. The arrest came 2 months after federal prosecutors accused Youngboy of violating terms of his house arrest. Okay, here we go. By using unspecified drugs. Okay, so how do you know? Let's keep reading though. In court documents, the Fed said Youngboy was non-compliant and told his supervising officer that he had no intentions of stopping. I could tell you that, but okay. If I'm on probation and the probation officer say you do drugs, and I say, yeah, but I ain't stopping, and they don't catch me. If you don't catch me, if you don't like, I gotta see if he got caught, y'all. I am really up on this, but to me, you got to be done. You know, I could have been lying, I could have been joking. Like you can't. I can't be my own witness against myself. You got to actually have some dirty urines or something. You know what I'm saying? I could have been just dicking around with you or bullshitting with you. I'm gonna keep reading though. Beyond the charges themselves, little else is yet known about the circumstances of Youngboy's arrest. His attorney, James P. Manis, I don't know, whatever, declined to comment, and the Cache Sheriff Office did not immediately return a request for comment. Bail has not yet been set, according to Sheriff's Office records, and court records do not yet show a criminal case pending. He don't got a criminal case pending. This is highly strange here, y'all. It's a bail has not yet been set. I understand that he ain't got no bail, and court records do not yet show. Say they probably made him drop urine and discover it in his system. Probably. You probably right, bro. Bail had not yet been set, according to Sheriff's Office records, and court records do not yet show a criminal case pending or an arraignment hearing set. I can understand the arraignment not being set. He should have a case pending, though. When you go to jail, you got to go to jail under some sort of pretense. That got to be in the well, I ain't gonna say it has to be because evidently it don't, because he's in that motherfucker and it ain't in there. But it should be in there. But anyway, but I'm gonna say this though. When you in the feds though, a lot of times your ass don't even show up. A lot of times, well, I ain't never been, but I know some people that done been to the feds and we tried to look them up, and it be weeks or a week or two before they even show up in the computer. You know what I'm saying? So this means that he's a federal. It's a Youngboy was indicted by federal prosecutors in March 2021 after he was allegedly found with 2 guns during a September 2020 incident in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. He was charged with violating a long-standing federal law that bans convicted felons from ever again possessing guns. A rule that applied to him because he had been convicted of a 2007 aggravated assault with a firearm. The rapper had finally been set for a trial on those charges this July, but in a March ruling last month, federal judge paused the case to await a Supreme Court ruling on a major gun case that could play a key role in Youngboy's efforts to avoid a conviction. So what they're saying is it's a case that's going on that could help. Shout out to Audio Crack 22. What up, brother? Yo, it's a case that's going on that could help Youngboy. So his federal judge postponed his trial until the ruling of the case happened, because if the case is successful, then it could help Youngboy out on his case. Damn, that was a good look for that judge to do that. But if you pay attention, that probably upset the federal prosecutors, and that probably put Youngboy back on their radar. And instead of Youngboy playing everything cool and you know, keeping his head down and doing everything like he should have, he up there on Grave Digger Mountain, bored, ain't got nothing to do but take drugs and fuck hoes and make music and get an internet beef with people, and that's all he been doing. He been in like a luxury jail cell. You know what I'm saying? And he just, I guess he thought that he could keep doing what he been doing. And he got caught slipping. But that's what I'm reading. It said the rapper had finally been set for trial on those charges this July, but in a March ruling last month, a federal judge paused the case to await a Supreme Court ruling on a major gun control case that could play a key role in Youngboy's efforts to avoid a conviction. So the judge postponed his case in order to see what the outcome would be of the other case, because it may help him out in his situation. I'm pretty sure that angered the prosecutors, and that's why they came down on him. Damn. While awaiting trial, Youngboy has been confined to his Salt Lake City mansion, a house that has now listed more a house arrest that has now lasted more than 2 full years. In October, his attorney pleaded that the long period of social isolation was harming his mental health and asked that the judge loosen restrictions, including allowing him to travel to a recording studio to create new music, but the request was largely denied in October. Yeah, I'm gonna say this. I will say this. I do believe that that confinement did have some negative effects on Buddy's mental health, because I watched a few of Youngboy's interviews, and in some of them interviews, Youngboy will be talking all soft and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like he got a whisper and shit, smoking a bunch of cigarettes. And then if you watch the other interviews, he hype, he upbeat, he loud. Or if you watch some of his lives, he loud, or his stories, he lies shit. So I could tell that it was a lot of some of that shit had to be do with drug use. Then I saw listen to his interview where he talk about, he ain't too big on being a father, but then when I pay attention to his interactions with his children, it look like he loves being a father. You know what I'm saying? So I believe that house arrest did have something to do, have some detrimental effects on his mental. I could just tell the change in his demeanor. I did 6 months on house arrest, which ain't no 2 years, but that shit do bother you a little bit. I ain't gonna lie to you. When you just in that bitch and you can't go nowhere, you know what I'm saying? So, man, but I think Youngboy is in some trouble, not because the charges that he got on him is serious. I think they felt like whatever was gonna happen with that case, that it may help him. And I think the feds really wanted Youngboy, and I think Youngboy gave them what they needed in order to put him where he at now. Let me tell you something. Y'all talking to somebody that's been on probation about 4-5 times. I completed probation a lot of times. I done completed probation every bit about 3-4 times. One time I violated probation and they threw it out. You know what I'm saying? One time listen, I'll tell you also, bro. Listen, I'll tell you, I told y'all this. I get blessed, bro. Lord be blessing me. One time they put me on probation for possession of marijuana, right? So I had to go to these drug classes. When I went to the drug classes, how about my probation officer was my preschool teacher? Shout out to Miss Hampton. My motherfucking probation officer was my preschool teacher. You know, like when you go out of, I was in elementary school, but you know when you get out of, well, it was my daycare teacher. When you get out of elementary school, you have to go to a daycare till your mom and them pick you up around 5 or 6 o'clock when they get off work. That's what happened to me. And my daycare teacher ended up being my probation officer. Not only was she my daycare teacher, she was like one of my daycare teachers that had befriended my mama. Like she ended up where I was a kid, she ended up dating my stepbrother. My stepbrother was older. You know, he was like, I was like 8. My stepbrother was like 20. You know what I'm saying? So my my daycare teacher saw him pick me up one day with my mama from daycare, and she asked him who he was, and they started dating. Now now time go on. I grow up. I'm end up 20 some years old, mid 20s, and they put me on probation. And just so happened, my probation officer was my daycare teacher. Nigga, I felt so many motherfucking drug tests. Listen, I felt so many motherfucking drug tests, nigga. And they ended up letting me off probation. All because of my because of her. Shout out to Miss Hampton. I wish I could find her ass, bro. Miss Nadine Hampton, bro. Straight up. She looked out for you, boy. I told you God always look out for old folks, drunks, and fools. I guess I'm a fool. Shout out to God, 100 for that one right there. But when you get on probation, other times when I did successfully complete probation, I'm telling you how you complete probation, bro. You got to stop doing all the shit that you used to do, bro. If you used to smoke weed, stop smoking weed. If you used to hustle, stop hustling. Get you a job. That's how I ended up getting out the streets, really, because I would get on probation, and that would be my modus operandi. I would stop doing anything criminal. I would just fly straight. If they put me on probation for 2 years, I ain't smoking no weed. For 2 years, I ain't selling no dope. For 2 years, I ain't breaking no laws. And I go get me a job. And I would just fly straight for them 2 years. And what happened is I ended up getting a construction job, just a regular construction job. All I did was want to sweep floors. And that shit, I did so good at it till I ended up moving up the ladder, becoming a foreman. And when I got off probation, I had probation for 2 years. When I got off probation, by the time I got off probation, I was a foreman making $20 an hour. So of course I ain't finna jump back into the streets after that. Bitch, I just stayed being a motherfucking foreman. I was a foreman for 6 years. I did 2 years on probation. And then after that, after I got probation, I was a foreman for another 4 years until old puss ass motherfucker got me fired. Well, I kind of got myself fired, you know what I'm saying? But anyway, I ended up getting fired. But I'm just trying to show you how and that kind of weaned me out of the streets by me being on probation and shit like that. But a young boy, back to what he was doing, he should have cut off all of that shit he was doing, man. Bro, you know what I'm saying? I understand that you up there on grade digger mountain, you bored, but let me tell you what you should have been doing up there, bro. You should have been getting your mind right. You should have been clearing your mind. You should have been dropping you some music. You should have been detoxing from all of them drugs. You know what I'm saying? Stop fucking all of them Mormon ladies up there. Cause let me tell y'all something. Y'all can't fool me. I watched that young boy documentary. He talked about, oh yeah, this is Mama Lynn right here, Mama Lynn. If y'all paid attention, he grabbed Mama Lynn right on the ass. She like, yeah, this is my son. The old white lady. She like, yeah, that's my son, man. We know what the Mormons doing up there in Utah, man. Y'all up that bit having orgies, my nigga. Y'all can't fool me. Everybody know young boy like to fuck. Know what I'm talking about? Young boy up that bit fucking the Mormon ladies, donating money to the Mormon church. Know what I'm saying? That's what's going on up there, bro. You can't fool me. Watch that documentary where young boy got he talking about, yeah, this is Mama Lynn, the old white lady. Bro, as soon as he hug her, young boy grab her ass. I'm telling you, I peeped the shit. I showed y'all. I showed y'all here on this channel. I forgot what live it was, but I showed y'all. Y'all remember not when young boy grabbed the lady on the ass, man. And young boy there fucking like a motherfucker, man. Ain't no secret, ain't no reason why, ain't no military secret why he went to Utah. He went to Utah because there's a lot of Mormons up there. And you have all them different wives and all that type of shit. I'm telling you, man. Young boy, that big getting it in, but that's the motherfucking drugs, bro. You know what I'm saying? He out there on them drugs, smoking all them cigarettes. But I don't think he coming home this time, bro. I think young boy gonna be sent in jail until he at least go to trial. You know what I'm saying? And I think they want Youngboy to do some time. And if you pay attention to these charges, possession of a weapon by or possession of a weapon by restricted person or potential weapon by restricted bitch, what that is? Like what's the name said? A bat, some nunchucks, bitch. What that is? Some nunchucks, bitch. What that bitch? What that is? A screwdriver, bitch. What that is? A katana blade, bitch. Know what I'm talking about? For real. What the fuck is that? You know what I mean? Because it didn't say possession of a firearm. It said possession of a potential weapon by a restricted person. Bitch, what is that? Some Bruce Lee nunchucks or something? You know what I'm saying? So, man, that shit crazy, man. I'm gonna say this too, young boy. You just took yourself off the board though. You know what I'm saying? You know, when you go to jail, you know, you done lost. You know what I'm saying? So I guess if y'all want to pay attention, if y'all really want to look at this Dirk and young boy beef right now, Dirk done won. Dirk winning now. Young boy, you in jail. Dirk just won a Grammy. You know what I'm saying? He won now. You know what I'm saying? So, man, look, man. These people be giving so much, and it seems like they just blow it. You know what I mean? It's like people like me and you who work hard and go to work and try and do everything, and we be going through so much stuff spread so thin, and we be like, damn, if we had the blessings that some of these people have, we would do a lot with them. But it seems like the people that be getting blessed with the shit be the people that be not valuing the shit the most. You know what I'm saying? Like for real. Like, come on, man. Like crazy, crazy, crazy. But free young boy, I guess, man. Free young boy. Shout out to 10 out of J. Y'all go subscribe to the channel since I use bro content. I don't try to, you know, I always try to give people their props. So he did a good video. I'm gonna come back later on. I'm gonna do a story. I'm trying to think what story I was gonna do because I did story time last night. So y'all go back and listen to them story times that I did because y'all said y'all liked my stories, and so y'all wanted me to get back to dropping some stories. So and I'm gonna put a thumbnail on the last night story night. So story time, so y'all can have a visual of what Lil Tony looked like and what Freak looked like. Those are two of my friends that got murdered. And what I've been doing, y'all, I've been doing stories on people that I know that got murdered. Like I know over 50 people that got murdered, y'all, like for real, for real. And I mean like knew them, like personally knew them. They knew me, like we had a friendship or we knew each other for an extended period of time. And I just decided to start dropping some story times. Y'all say y'all like my stories, and so I'm gonna start giving y'all some stories. I did two last night on my homeboy high school that had got murdered, LaTony Jones, and also another young man that I knew named Freak that got murdered. Um, and if y'all go back and look at those lives, y'all can hear those stories. I also told about the time that I broke out of lockdown in the county and got into a fight, ended up getting put on the fifth floor with the crazy people, and I told that whole story. It was an eventful story, so y'all go back and check that out. I got some story. I got a story that I want. Oh, tonight. I'm gonna tell y'all. But before I get to that, I'm gonna put a picture on the story on the last night story time, so you guys can have a visual to see what LaTony and and Freak look like, y'all. And I'm so because I know I didn't give y'all no visuals, and I want to give y'all some visuals of what these people looked like. But I'm gonna tell y'all the story of Willie Slater tonight, y'all. Listen, let me tell y'all something. Y'all want to tune in, bro. Give me a couple hours, but y'all want to tune in, and it's actually video of Willie Slater on YouTube. I don't know what YouTube channel this is, but it is people that has videos of Willie Slater, and I'm gonna bring y'all the story of Willie Slater, bro. This shit is amazing. This nigga had a life sentence, bro. This nigga got out. This shit is like something that need to be on TV, bro. How Willie Slater got out of jail is amazing, guys. It's amazing. It's amazing, bro. Like how Willie Slater got out of jail. I promise y'all, bro. You won't motherfucking, you won't believe this shit. He had a life sentence for murder. He had a life sentence. I ain't gonna get a story away, but he had a life sentence for murder, and he got out of jail. He was doing life, y'all. When I tell you how he motherfucking got out of jail, it's something that like need to be on like American Greed or some shit like that, bro. And he ended up getting out of jail, dropping him some diamonds in his mouth and all type of shit. And I actually have footage of Willie. Like I have actual footage of Willie, so you guys will be able to see Willie, hear him talk and shit like that. He ended up getting murdered, and I knew him. But I'm gonna tell y'all, I ain't gonna spoil the story, so just lay around for that. Please hit that cash out. Please hit that like button. Please share the video. Please subscribe to the channel. I'm gonna get out of here because we had 2 hours. But I'm gonna drop y'all the story time with Marie the Boy later on tonight, and it's gonna be about Willie Slater, bro. Bro, this is gonna be probably one of the better story times I ever did because y'all ain't never heard no shit like this, bro. Like, share, comment to this video. Chill.